Hi, I'm Tim with the Outdoor Gear Exchange, and we're here today to talk about some of the different types of crampons out there. One of the important things to note is crampons have a few different styles of attachment, so make sure you get the right one to fit your boot. We'll cover that in another video, which you can find linked in the description. The first type of crampon is a bit more of a traditional mountaineering crampon, like the Urbis from Petzl here. You'll notice it has what we call horizontal front points. They're totally flat on the top. That will displace a lot of snow and give you a little bit more traction on steep approaches, snowy gully climbs, or snowy ridge tops. They also tend to have fewer points back here, which gives you a little bit less to trip over hiking. They also tend to be one of the lighter crampons on the market. These are great if you see yourself doing a lot of snow climbing, some ski mountaineering, or anything where you're not climbing steep vertical terrain, but just need a little bit of extra traction on the steep sections of snow. The big downside to a horizontal front point is it doesn't penetrate steep or brittle ice quite as well, so it's a little harder to keep your footing and climb really hard stuff. That being said, people climbed ice with horizontal front points for years, so it's definitely doable, especially if you're only going to climb steep ice a couple times a year. Other examples of this type of crampon would be the Contact from Black Diamond or the G10 from Gravel. The next type of crampon we're going to talk about is also a great all-arounder, like the G14 from Gravel here. This has what we call vertical front points, so a little bit less space on the top, very sharp tips, also generally replaceable as they wear down. These give you an advantage by penetrating thin ice and brittle ice a little bit better, give you more stability when you're standing on those steep pillars or climbing long gullies. Most of these crampons will still have dual front points, which helps keep the calf exhaustion to a minimum on those longer routes. These also tend to have longer and more aggressive secondary points, which gives you more of a platform to stand on. The downside of this style of crampon is it's a little bit heavier and has a lot more points that can get caught up when you're hiking, so on an approach or a descent, something you want to be aware of. Other examples of this type of crampon would be the Lynx from Petzl or the Cyborg from Black Diamond. The last type of crampon we're going to talk about today really excels when ice gets steep, you're doing some mixed climbing, and particularly when the rock gets to be overhanging. A great example is the Stinger here from Black Diamond. Like the last style we talked about, this will have vertical front points, and most of these just have a single point. This gives you a lot more precision and traction on very small edges and lets you hook your tool placements on really thin ice and gives you a lot more mobility if you need to move your leg from side to side. With the flexibility, you lose a little bit of the support you'd get on longer routes, but if you're climbing hard stuff, having that flexibility is really nice. Also, like the other style we talked about, these tend to have very aggressive secondary points to help give you a good platform. And moving further back, a lot of them have an aggressive raking point. What that does is lets you pull in on steep overhanging terrain, kind of like the heel hook of mixed climbing. Other examples of this type of crampon would be the Dart from Petzl or the G20 from Gravel. I hope you found this video helpful as you're choosing your next set of crampons. You can find these, more crampons, and a full selection of climbing gear at our website, www.gearx.com. Thanks for watching.